Welcome to this edition of Community Voices, Food Insecurity Solutions. I'm Michelle Richardson, Program Director for the Wellness Center at Prince George's Community College. I'm here in the PGCC Cares Pantry, where we store food and pack grocery bags for our students in need. What is food insecurity? We'll talk to experts about the problem and how it is impacting our area. Then we'll hear how Prince George's Community College is partnering with the County Council, corporations, nonprofits, local farmers, churches, and chefs to address food insecurity for our students and the residents of our county. From community food distributions and healthy cooking classes to cooking demonstrations in our Culinary Arts Center, and professional development for faculty and staff. This issue hits home for PGCC because it not only impacts student success, but the health of our entire community.
The challenge to make sure that students have access to healthy produce and reliable food sources is vast. The challenge is immense and it is great, but we want to be able to meet that challenge. Everybody at Prince George's Community College in our various offices and various folks in the county as well all need to come together to make sure that we solve this issue for our students.
I think parts of Prince George's County are food insecure. I've known people growing up that have not had proper access to food, and I still know some of these people. I know some areas Prince George's County could really use some work in terms of food insecurity within schools, within families' homes, in the neighborhoods.
Good afternoon. I am Denise Ware with Prince George's Community College Wellness, Culinary, and Hospitality Program. We will be speaking today about food insecurity in Prince George's County. I'm excited to introduce our panel of experts, the voices from our community. First, we have Dr. Yue Wayne from the Counseling Center at the University of Maryland, College Park. Welcome, Dr. Wayne.
Thanks for having me. My name is Yue Wang. I'm the Research Director and Assistant Director for the University of Maryland Counseling Center. I'm also the Clinical Associate Professor.
Thank you. Ms. Nicole Hall.
Thank you, and thank you for having me here today. I'm Nicole Hall. I'm the Business Development Manager for Restaurant Retail at the Prince George's County Economic Development Corporation.
Thank you. And Dr. Black.
Thank you very much. I'm Maureen Black. I'm a professor in the Department of Pediatrics at the University of Maryland School of Medicine.
Thank you, ladies, for joining us today on the panel to talk about food insecurity. Dr. Wayne, what is food insecurity and what does it look like for college students in our community?
So food insecurity is a lack of consistent access to affordable and nutritious food. The U.S. Department of Agriculture developed the household food security module to assess household food security. And most of the researchers use the module to assess food insecurity in their community. We conducted a large-scale survey to examine food insecurity prevalence rate among our undergrad and graduate students. In the survey that was completed by almost 5,000 students, we find out that about 20% of our students will consider food insecure. And the food insecurity level is also associated with their mental health and physical health. For example, the students who were food insecure were more depressed and anxious and distressed. Students who were food insecure also had lower GPA on average, compared to food secure students. We also see from our data that food insecure students were more likely to drop out of the university before they completed their degrees compared to their food secure peers.
Food insecurity, food inequity has a major impact on the health of children and families throughout the lives of children. For very young children, it means that they don't have access to the kinds of food that we know that infants and toddlers need for their growth. Throughout childhood and adolescence, children become aware that their household does not have adequate food. And what families do to keep children from being hungry, and same as what college students do to keep from being hungry, is that they eat low-cost food. Low-cost food is not particularly nutritious. It's the food, we say it's the food that you buy in the middle of the grocery store, and that it doesn't have nutrients, doesn't have so many nutrients in it, but it fills you up. So one is not hungry, but you're not getting the nutrients that you need for healthy growth and development.
Thank you so much for that information. It's so important because it leads us to our next topic as we introduce and talk to Ms. Nicole Hall. What are the food deserts and how bad is the problem?
Well, thank you for that question, Mrs. Ware. Food deserts are areas in which residents have difficulty accessing affordable and quality fresh foods. Prince George's County has the second highest number of food deserts in the state. 10% of the county's census tracts are considered low access, which means 33% of the census tract resides 1 mile or more from a grocery store, or low income, which is defined as the median family income is less than or equal to 80% of the state's median income. So most of those locations or low income, low access areas are located inside the Beltway from a county perspective. From an economic development standpoint, that means most of our development has occurred inside the Beltway to target those food deserts in Prince George's County. And we target them by mixed use developments, adding employers and targeted retailers into the county, as well as alternative format grocers who can fit into these smaller formats in some of our smaller, most impacted communities that need a fresh food provider.
Thank you so much. Well, it has been a pleasure to learn and to really meet each of you because we all play a role to address the questions about food insecurity, food equity, and food deserts within Prince George's County. And it sounds like continue to work together and working out different areas to make a change in Prince George's County. Thank you so much for your time.
My family goes out of their way to ensure that we are able to get this healthy food, even if it means spending a little more money or driving a little farther to a nice grocery store.
What's available in the supermarket, it ain't fresh. It's canned foods, and that leads to a lot of different diseases that we see today. These are the type of food that are supposed to be affordable for everybody.
So I think that's where some of these insecurities come from, because we are stuck to whatever we have in our area, because especially if you don't have the means of transportation to move around and get what you're looking for, then you're just stuck with whatever it is that you have to get from your local area.
Let's take a look at how Prince George's Community College and our partners are helping to solve the problem of food insecurity.
We are all about solutions here at Prince George's Community College. Tell me what you and the Economic Development Corporation are doing to address the issues of food insecurity and food deserts in the county.
Well, thank you, Denise, for that question. And many of our food deserts are located inside the Beltway. So the Economic Development Corporation is taking a targeted approach of mixed-use development. So over the last 2 to 3 years, under leadership of our county council, we've made major strides in adding legislation to help attract quality food retailers and vendors into the county. Mobile food trucks, as well as food hall legislation, as well as our grocery store tax credits on real property and personal property have really made Prince George's County a destination for the retailers that we want to see here to serve our residents fresh and affordable quality foods. Over the last year, we've distributed over 1 million meals to county residents in partnership with many of our county-based restaurants and with some of our nonprofit partners, and really provided a life source to some of our county residents during the tough year that we had through the COVID-19 pandemic.
We adopted a resolution to establish a food security work group in order to bring all the stakeholders together, and it'll be both governmental, not-for-profit, and private sector, so we make sure that we're being effective and efficient with respect to getting the resources out to our residents.
Food insecurity is at a high rate. You'll find, even in our school system, a high incidence of free and reduced lunch need, up in the 60 percentile and sometimes greater.
And one of the most recent wins that we had as a solution to supporting food insecurity and food deserts in our county is our mobile food truck, which our county executive announced just recently. It is a mobile food truck that will provide fresh fruits and vegetables, as well as some dry goods, in partnership with the Capital Area Food Bank and sponsored by Giant Foods. So we're really proud of a lot of the work that we've done from a county perspective. But as we shared earlier in the segment, the work is still not done. And we're going to continue to drive out food insecurity and food deserts in our county and provide fresh quality foods to our residents.
Well, this is definitely exciting. I always say it takes education, businesses, and the county to work together to make a difference as we continue to serve the residents of Prince George's County. Thank you so much for your time, Nicole.
Thank you, Denise.
I have seen food insecurity, not amongst my friends, but I have seen it amongst my family. I know that certain family members of mine were receiving food through the county during the pandemic because they themselves couldn't afford any food.
In some cases, a lot of our students are not receiving a well-balanced meal, first of all, and secondly, some may not even be receiving a meal at all, as we found out over the years.
Not having access to vegetables is a big thing, not only in our school, but in our entire community. I think that is a real problem that we face in our community.
The opportunity today to be able to work towards a need that we know is very prominent, food insecurity. It's just really near and dear to my heart. It's near and dear also because I know that it's something that impacts our employees as well as impacting our students. But it's also extremely important because we want to be good neighbors in the community where we live, so to speak. We're an entity, but we are also a neighbor. We're a part of this larger community. So it's just very exciting to be here today. It's exciting because we have the opportunity to partner with others in the community that have a similar heart to be able to do something that's good.
The American Heart Association recognizes that access to healthy food is absolutely essential for overall heart health, leading to longer, healthier lives. What we saw was that PG County does have food deserts. We wanted to have the community college and particularly the culinary school be a place where we could help, first, provide more healthy food, and second, really empower and educate the next generation of chefs and food service workers who are going to really help this region.
I'm so extremely proud of the partnership Care First has cultivated with Prince George's Community College with our collaborative approach to address food insecurity and food deserts that exist in the county. Through the creation of a fresh food market and hands-on health education courses, Care First investment in the programming at the college serves over 20,000 residents who are experiencing food insecurity.
The American Heart Association is helping in several ways. We're going to help make it possible to distribute food to families. We're going to be providing recipes for healthy cooking so members of the community can take some of these lessons home. And we're going to be enabling students to join the program who might not otherwise have been able to do that.
It's a commitment to provide those services from the most nutritional perspective possible, right? We all, in some ways, enjoy food, but we don't necessarily always choose the food based upon that which is most nutritional for us. So to make that type of commitment to create that food and to prepare that food from the most nutritional perspective is just phenomenal for us. And for that then to be validated and affirmed by the American Heart Association is really a very special designation because it's beyond just the academic programming. It says that we have a commitment to impact beyond what we do, and that the products that we serve, all of the students that will graduate from our programs, when they enter out into industry, they will go with this sense of nutrition as paramount and forefront in what they do.
Today, we're going to do a lot of cutting. We are going to use every bit of knowledge that we have used or gained over the last 3 weeks. Right there is comfortable for you. Heel cut. There you go. Right there.
Right. Okay.
Now, down and through. Back your product up. Hey, very good. So I'm going to point to the part and you tell me what it is.
Tip.
That's the tip. Good. Yes. If you do more of a heel cut,
It wouldn't be so hard.
Right. Okay. Put your fingers here.
Okay.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Tip. There you go. There you go. Awesome. Yep. Good. Flat. Because if it's here and you go through, you're cut. Lined up from the bottom, are they going to be the same length? No. So you line it up from the top. Make sense? Then you cut across. Now they'll all be the same size. Good. Good. You have 4 pieces. Excellent. We have 3 things to cook: hash, asparagus, and fish. Why are we using avocado oil? Because it has a high smoke point. Very good. After the sweet potatoes, what goes next? Y'all are professionals now. Let me see some flip action. Up and back. Up and back. Up and back. Up and back. Go for it, girl. Sweet potatoes, unlike regular potatoes, don't turn into sugar when they're metabolized. They're high in fiber. They help with eye health. They help with gut health. They're diuretics, so they get you going. Turn the heat down. All right, let's go with the lemon juice. The lemon juice is gonna add some liquid to the pan. Bubble that garlic up. Nice, nice. Now look at you. You just did a hash and asparagus, and we've been talking, and we started a few minutes late, and we still just reached 12 o'clock. Count to 30, then drop your fish. Flip, you should have a little brown on it. Lemon juice. So, you've all made fish, and we did the salmon. Loosen it with your spatula first. It's delicate. Go ahead. You get your whole piece so it doesn't break. Now, we have some parsley too. Cut your parsley, cut the stem off your parsley. Hold up your plates. You all did an awesome job. Give yourselves a round of applause. Healthy cooking and healthy eating actually takes less time than people think. We just cooked a whole meal in 36 minutes. And that was the asparagus, the sweet potato hash, and we grilled some ocean perch. So what they're finding is that healthy eating can happen faster, and they're getting a better appreciation for the actual taste of the vegetable as opposed to salt and pepper.
So I decided I need to take this class so I can prepare my foods without having to add the additional seasonings. This class is it. This is it. I really enjoyed it.
The main thing I've learned, it doesn't take as long as I thought it would to cook a healthy meal. That's one of the reasons why I don't do it at home.
It's important for me to learn new healthy ways of cooking because of my age, one thing, and because of my health issues. high blood pressure, cholesterol, so I want to learn better ways to cook so I can relieve that without taking medication.
Healthy cooking is like the linchpin to healthy living. Ailments and disease that's in the body can actually be cured through eating properly.
I was excited that you opened up your church doors to Prince George's Community College Culinary Program so that we can extend our healthy cooking classes to your seniors at the church. And I am a witness of what they learned. They spent 6 weeks with one of the culinary instructors, learning various things from beans to vegetables and really knife skills. So they had a variety of learning opportunities in those 6 weeks. Do you mind sharing some of the things that they shared with you on what they learned and why it was important?
Be glad to. The first thing I want to share is this. They want the class to return again, so that shows how fruitful it was. But the most important thing that came out of that class was they spoke in volumes and in concert about how they learned how to season their foods. And so they were very much excited about being able to get flavors and not lose their health, if I may say, or keep their good health. That was the real yell from that experience.
Our mission as the College and Career Transitions Department at PGCC is to cultivate resilience, self-sufficiency, academic and career success for children, teens, and adults by supporting students and removing educational barriers that may hinder that goal. Community college students who experience consistent food insecurity early in college are more than 4 percentage points less likely to graduate. While PGCC is really doing a lot, there's always going to be a need. So we can always work together and to try to make sure that we're able to be of the most assistance to our students.
PGCC Cares is a campus and community-wide effort to respond to the critical needs of our students. We mobilize the college's internal and external communities to provide resources and solicit support to address critical needs such as food insecurity. That's why the college maintains an on-site food pantry. Thanks to the generous donations of faculty and staff and grant funding from the Prince George's Community College Foundation, we are able to give away free food, snacks, and groceries to our students in need. We have to address the holistic needs of our students to help them succeed inside the classroom and outside.
Not a lot of students are able to afford lunch that's affordable and accessible for students to be able to get something to eat because they can't come to school if they can't eat.
Food insecurity is really lack of knowledge, because when I talk to young people, you ask them, well, where do things come from? And they think it comes from a grocery store. But they do not understand the process. And I think the key is education.
Yeah, this partnership with Prince George's Community College is very significant in a way that we need the education part where people get the information about food, how they get the food, where the food comes from, and also learn about the importance of eating fresh and healthy.
Prince George's Community College, I think they're doing a good job of trying to get people to understand what's happening with food. But basically, it's food knowledge. And once we get the knowledge, we'll understand that there is no desert here. It's an oasis. The key is to get planting. The key is to start doing for yourself.
Hello everyone, my name is Chef Sean Lightfoot and I'm coming to you from the Prince George's Community College's amazing space here at their Culinary Center. We're in partnership with an amazing farm called Florencia Farm that's located up here in Upper Marlboro. So on the menu today we have a pan-seared salmon with sweet potato greens, coconut curry cream sauce. We are going to serve that over rice, and what you want to do is you want to take boiling water, take your long grain or short grain rice, add the boiling water, stick it in your microwave for 12 minutes. You're going to come out with a perfect rice every time. The second thing we want to talk about is the main ingredient, which is the sweet potato greens. When you harvest the greens, you want to pull the stems to make sure that you're getting to just the flesh. We're going to blanch those greens just a little to take the bite off of them. And once you blanch the greens in boiling water, it only takes about a minute. And because this dish is an Asian influence, I use sesame seed oil, just a little. You can use onions or you can use shallots for this recipe. It's about a tablespoon of the shallots. You have about a teaspoon of the ginger, a teaspoon of the turmeric. You have salt, you have pepper to taste, and you have brown sugar, about a teaspoon of brown sugar. Very easy recipe. You want to saute. We're going to add a little natural garlic. It only takes a couple of seconds for this stuff to actually start to get translucent. Once that happens, you can start to think about adding all your other ingredients. I want to dice up a little jalapeno pepper. Now keep in mind that you want to watch your flame on this because garlic cooks fast and it may burn, and once it burns, it gives you that bitter taste that no one likes to eat. So once you add all those dry ingredients to your mix, you just want to saute this and let the aromas start to blend. You want to add coconut milk. Now you can use coconut cream, but it's like 1-to-1 if you use coconut cream. You want to take and add your coconut cream, let that start to simmer. That'll come to a quick boil, but while you're doing that, you want to drain the leaves and just focus on your cream sauce. And as we let this get going, we want to think about the salmon. Now your salmon, you can use a 2-ounce, 4-ounce piece of salmon, a little sea salt, a little fresh cracked pepper. Now that your curry sauce is starting to form, you can add your sweet potato leaves. You want to turn that down, let that simmer. It's only going to take about 4 or 5 minutes. And as you can see, this starts to thicken up. You just want that to simmer. On your salmon, we're also going to use just a little bit of the sesame seed oil. Don't need a lot, maybe the size of a quarter. So as we get closer to your curry sauce and your spinach leaves getting to the point of where you want them, and your pan for your salmon is hot, you want to take and put your salmon down face down. That's going to sear for about 2 to 3 minutes. So we flip the salmon after about 3 minutes, and as you can see, if you look at its translucent, it starts to show this whitish texture. That's when you know it's getting close. As we start to think about plating this, you take your rice. Now remember, this is 12-minute rice. It only took 12 minutes. Put it in your bowl. Try to give you a centerpiece. We're going to bring our curry coconut cream with the sweet potato leaves over, and we're going to just plate this like so. And you're getting these good vegetables. You're getting all of the dry ingredients, all of the antioxidants, all the good flavors. Then you want to plate your salmon, and you put that on top like so. Add some character to your plate, just a little, and we're finished.
Thank you for watching this episode of Community Voices, Food Insecurity Solutions. I hope that you have been enlightened about the critical issue of food insecurity in our community. And I hope that you have also been inspired by the important work we're doing here at Prince George's Community College with our partners to solve this problem impacting our students, their families, and the residents of our county. We especially want to thank our partners in this effort: Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield, the Prince George's County Council, Catholic Charities, Florencia Farm, Westphalia United Methodist Church, the American Heart Association, and the Prince George's Community College Foundation. Plus, we are very appreciative of the students, faculty, and staff of the Culinary Arts Program and PGCC Cares. For more information and resources for families who are food insecure, we have compiled a list of websites and organizations that will appear at the end of this program. Again, thank you for watching.
I am what hunger looks like in America. I am an 8-year-old girl who's not excited for the last day of school. Because this may be the last time I'll have lunch. Till September. I am a single father of 2 who works 3 part-time jobs. And that's still not enough to put food on the table. I am a 16-year-old boy who just got my first job to help feed my little sisters. I was created by artificial intelligence from faces of the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew they were hungry.
Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.